tell you, that's a pretty good opening point.
Is that the longest rally of the match?
Love 50.
Both players just easing into it, crushing it from side to side.
16 strokes. Won't take long to beat that. Probably.
All. 30.
Such a key for Leighton to keep that ball flatter and use that slice on the backhand. Get it low against this tall Argentine.
It's interesting when you talk about matchups. I look at Del Potro's game. He serves bigger than Hewitt. He hits the ball bigger off both sides. I think the only advantage for Hewitt is his experience and his movement. It's whether he's going to be able to find a way to unsettle and outmaneuver Del Potro.
First game.
Tony Roach, I am sure, has told Leighton Hewitt in order to pull off this upset now. This would be a pretty big one. Would be to be willing to be aggressive and move forward.
Did you play Tony yourself?
You know the answer to that. That's why you're asking, right?
Well, no, because in '77, I know he won the Davis Cup for Australia. And that was about when you arrived.
The first and only time we played, Andrew, was the following year. The first tournament I played as a professional was Queen's Club, '78. And in the finals, Tony Roach gave me a lesson in volleying, 8-6, 9-7.
Hey, I didn't know the answer to that.
So he was I was a big fan of Tony Roach's. Not Rod Laver was my idol, but I love the way Tony, greatest backhand volley in the history of our sport. Certainly lefty, I know that. Loved it.
Love 50.
Well, to use that experience, be good for Hewitt now. He's been on this court a lot more than Del Potro, and he looks a little tight at the moment. So start unleashing this serve, this big first serve he's got.
Love 30.
Played a fantastic first point of the match, the 16-shot rally with a running backhand pass winner, but
Hasn't been in it since.
6 points in a row to Hewitt.
30 all.
Couple of big second serves from Del Potro, but I think Hewitt's going to be disappointed not to get the ball back in play, especially love 30 early on in the match.
Franco Davin on the right-hand side there, coaching Del Potro. Decent pupil to have, I'd say.
Game, Del Potro.
I wonder if this
1 game all.
surface will
First.
benefit Leighton now with the hip surgery. If he's a little bit careful there.
I spoke to him this morning, and the hip surgery has been very tough for guys to come back with, and he said he feels great. He said, I feel 100%, I'm moving well, and you know, sometimes you feel like guys are kind of just saying that, but I got the sense that he really meant it, and that's a good sign.
Well, since his game is predicated on speed, he's one of the fastest guys that's ever been out there on the tennis court. He needs it all now because he's really slipped down in the rankings.
Leck, first.
Got a couple wins at Queens, lost to Roddick 6-6. A round, pretty easy win here. Body should be fresh, certainly. He hasn't played a lot of long matches. He's working the right tactics, though. That slice backhand, get it low, and then that shot, the two-handed backhand up the line. He's got to use, I love when he uses that play. Wow, that's well handled. He gets stuck in that routine with Leighton, always pulling it top spin cross court backhand.
A lot of those clay court boys as well, they like to move to their left. They like to move around the backhand to hit the inside out forehand, and not so comfortable moving the other way.
Game, Hewitt.
Not to do against Hewitt. I played him 10 times and won once.
Oh, really?
So didn't have much fun.
Well, he likes a target, Hewitt.
Yeah.
It makes life tough for a serve volleyer.
I kept coming in and watching it go past me or round me or over me.
We remember the semi-final of Wimbledon, 2002.
Twice in the final of Queens.
Yeah, and there was an Indian Wells one in there somewhere.
Final of Indian Wells, that took about 45 minutes. Kind of seems unusual to see Hewitt coming forward and volleying, but I think he has to take the game to Del Potro. If he just hangs back and trades ground strokes, this guy hits the ball too hard.
Oh!
All.
I like the way
15.
guys like Del Potro now, they open up their body, that open stance, and they wait on the ball. They find that angle. They can catch it at different heights. And they force their opponent, Hewitt, to sort of move one way or the other and go to either side. Hewitt's long been considered one of the best returners in the game.
30
Twice he
all.
finished #1 player in the world. 2001 and 2. He wants to still be talked about, show he belongs. Early in the year, he dropped out of the top 100. I'll tell you, that's
heavy.
40.
Is that a second serve?
Yeah, 129.
122.
122 for that one. But it's coming down from about 14 foot with that arm and racket.
Happy with that for a first serve.
No kidding.
Game, Del Potro.
That's the hardest I've ever hit a serve. 122.
2 games all. First set.
A little nerve-wracking, wasn't it, when they first started putting the speed gun on display on the court. Everyone's going out there trying to break the 120 or 130 or whatever your personal record is.
When I played in the test event for the roof, we specifically asked no speed gun.
I noticed that. I was wondering where that was. I asked to have no speed gun when I was playing, because it's distracting, number one. You look at it, and it's intimidating. If you're playing a Becker, or they get even cockier, more sure of themselves, and they see how much bigger they're serving.
Yeah, you try and break your record. You'd love 40 down second serve, but hey, at least I served at 130 miles an hour.
Oof. Wow. He really lined that one up.
I need the speed gun on that one.
15 all.
It didn't seem from that position he could hit it that flat, that hard, and still get it in play.
You know, Hawkeye's useful for all sorts of things. 97 miles an hour, that forehand.
You imagine if this guy
15.
used a wood racket, you can barely even see this one.
It would have to be made of ebony or mahogany.
It's like the racket looks so small in his hand.
Dangerous moments now for Leighton Hewitt. 2 all, 15-30, and Del Potro, the ball so hard.
All. $40, 30. Deuce. Advantage Del Potro.
Anytime Del Potro gets to set his feet and attack these ground strokes, he strikes it so cleanly. Sets up the first breakpoint opportunity of the match.
Hewitt's got to be careful on serve because he likes to hit it hard. He doesn't get a high percentage in. He'd be better served, I think, taking a little bit off it, trying to go into the body of Del Potro a lot so he can't extend those arms. His other problem is his second serve. He likes to kick, which sits right up there for Del Potro. That's not going to hurt him. So that serve he just hit up the middle, that's the one he's got to go for more. Just a slice and even hit it flatter at times. Otherwise, I think Del Potro is going to get onto that second serve.
Advantage Del Potro. Juice.
He's a pretty cool customer, Del Potro. If Leighton can stay in this set, get it close towards the end, that experience may pay off. Crowd start getting behind him. He's had a lot of respect here over the years, not a huge amount of support. And I think this would be a time where it would really come in handy for him. Wow.
How does he do that?
Advantage Del Potro.
That's why he's 5 in the world.
That really was something, wasn't it? Because he had to change and adapt and alter the style on that one. Just coming across the ball. Is he playing table tennis out there? Third break point. Deuce. It's going to be a big cheer if Leighton Hewitt can get out of this game. I think the crowd understand fairly early on that Del Potro plays well. He could blow Hewitt off the court. It's Hewitt's job today to stay as close as he can all the way. Strange as it may seem with all his experience. He's definitely the underdog, isn't he?
Advantage Del Potro.
Shots like that when he's, hanging in there in a game, he's got back to juice, saved some break points. Good first serve. The court's kind of opened up and Del Potro's not the best mover. Can't afford just to roll that in the net and put himself under pressure again.
Fourth break point in a row on this side.
He used the topspin well on the forehand and was aggressive. And the next time he gets a shot like he did at deuce, he'd be better off trying to use more spin to control it and perhaps move in if he sees Del Potro off balance. He's got to go against his instincts, which have been to sort of pull back and counter punch and use his speed. He's back. Not a lot of come-ons the last 6 months to a year.
It's been quiet. It's got the fanatics there, isn't it?
Yeah, the fanatics.
Aussies.
They'll probably stay over for the Ashes if they can get tickets. Yeah.
Ever present wherever he goes.
An easy man to support. Nobody wears the green and gold quite like he does. Except not here, because it's predominantly white. Brutal game, isn't it? You get the feeling whoever wins this game is really on the up in this set. Hewitt could easily go ahead and lose the set if he loses this game, because Del Potro's serve is so powerful. If he can hang on here, though, it's the first mini battle of the match, isn't it?
First. Advantage, Hewitt.
Third one of them.
If he can get his serve at 60 or above, that first serve, that's really going to help him.
Oh!
I just think when he goes for the big one, his percentage drops often below 50. That's going to get him in trouble.
Has to certainly raise his levels and keep that overall fighting spirit going at all times.
There weren't guys faster, though. I'll tell you. So, I watch him carefully to see if he moves. I think he's lost a little bit at 28. And see if that's the difference between being a top 5 player and 20 in the world, 30 even.
Sun is blazing down now on centre court, just as we expect the Del Potro serve to. Temperature's probably in this bowl pushing 80 now. Pretty humid day. 2-3 serving.
He's been around long enough to know how important this match is early. This first set is for him.
And after holding the previous service game, Del Potro had his chances, hasn't taken them, and suddenly the onus is back on him.
Leg. For sure.
Karlovic aced Leighton 55 times in the first round of the French, and Leighton won. 55 aces.
How good do you think it felt for Leighton to come back and win from 2 sets down against the guy that beat him here on this court? He came back as defending champion.
I think he had lost some all 3 times they played, too.
I thought it was wide.
At that point, this point, a challenge is quite a delay.
On the left near sideline. Ball was called out.
Looked like there was a little bit of a puff of what was chalk.
Here it is. It's a first serve at 15 all, 2-3. Ball was good.
Hewitt never even moved towards the court. He knew it was in. Del Potro, see, give him the dirty look. The umpire.
First serve.
Idiot. How could you not have... Oh, no, that was me talking. I'm sorry.
That's Norm Christ in the chair there.
$30-15.
Norm can take care of himself in the chair. He likes being part of the show, enjoys his job. You had a word with him earlier, didn't you, Tim?
Yeah, I saw him just walk into the court actually, and I asked him where he was today, and he said, I'm on the big court.
All.
Sounds like that wind is kicking up. Just benefit Leighton Hewitt. He's used smaller steps. He's got great balance out there. Oh yeah, great point for Hewitt now.
Mr.
Think he's going to have a challenge.
Challenging the call on the right baseline. Ball was called in.
Looked like he got the nod from his coach to give it a try, but I think this one's in as well. But it won't certainly won't help Del Potro.
That's one where you blow off a challenge to try to regroup, knowing that you're down break point.
It's a little bit embarrassing when it's inside the line.
Potro has 2 challenges remaining.
Remember that guy?
You gotta love that. Comes through that tough service game previously. 4 break points for Del Potro. Hewitt gets 1. Takes it.
So often the way it goes, isn't it? Del Potro all over the Leighton Hewitt serve. Hewitt gets a sniff and he takes it. Now here's the last game with the old tennis balls. Tiny bit slower through the air, tiny bit slower off the court. Hewitt with a break. 4-2.
Del Potro has not been able to shake the nerves so far. Hewitt says those, come on, and just right when you've dumped the forehand in the bottom of the net, that doesn't please you a whole lot either.
All.
Like the left foot went there, and that's sort of unusual, isn't it? That can hurt a lot, that one. Body was crossed up.
Got legs that long, it could be pretty awkward.
First serve. First serve.
Martina Navratilova had her way. They would just play that ball and it would just be a let and you would just carry on, wouldn't stop.
I like that. I think that would be quite exciting. And I don't think guys should be able to catch or girls catch their serves. You get 2s. Or should we give them 3 serves now because everyone stays back all the time?
You mean the ball toss?
The ball toss. You can't catch it.
Once you've thrown it up, you've got to whack it.
That's it extends the match. People can do that just to catch them. Get a little extra air if they've winded.
More gamesmanship.
That's what I'm trying to eliminate it. So the old school guys like you will feel better about it.
If I'm old school, what are you?
I'm old new school. Don't ask me what that means.
30.
It sounded good, though, at the time.
But that didn't feel good for Hewitt. 30-all. Routine, rallying shot. Rolled it in the net.
Just really looking to establish that nice rhythm. He's done this a million times. Just looks like his foot may have caught or something a little bit. It wasn't comfortable, was it?
Making excuses for him, Andrew.
Was he rushed? Break point.
First serve.
Never missed those against me.
See, that net cord there would have saved his break point if there was no lets. So we'd be looking at deuce now. We'll discuss that more in a second. Break point.
That's a big shot. Again, that is such an effective ploy for Hewitt if he is willing to hit that two-handed backhand up the line. I think it's the difference between him winning or losing a match like this. I see him play Agassi. I remember semis of the Open once. I think he had two the entire match. And eventually he lost that match, because of it. He was unwilling to.
And he's got the shot, so he might as well use it.
Exactly. That's what's amazing. I mean, I see Roger Rashid, who used to coach him. The guy did it all the time in practice. It wasn't like he wasn't making it. For some reason, he just wouldn't go there.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
He never slid that well on clay. It's amazing.
I think he proved the point that his hip's good. That's a good get. This is an even better get.
You asked the Brown staff for 2 more towels for Mr. Del Potro.
Yeah, Del Potro getting involved in the fight here now as well. He had his serve broken in the previous game, and this is his second break point of this game.
I tell you, it makes all that work worthwhile, though. The surgery, the battles he's had to feel like he belongs, to prove to people. He loves to prove people wrong.
You can tell by his body language how important he feels this game is. He's got the break. No way he wants to just give it straight back.
I think it's the best he's looked in a couple of years.
Absolutely.
It's been 3 years since he's been in a Grand Slam quarter, 4 since he's been in the semi. So this is, even though it's a second round match, Tony Roach would say to him, his coach has been working with him a while, it's, hey, get through this. Who knows?
Hewitt. Ball change.
That's what I guess he tried to do. You didn't know when he was going to do it. All that would take, you do it 15 times. He doesn't do it as much as he used to. And you turn around and you just, sorry, not ready. Give it one of those. Do that a couple times.
Okay.
And someone's going to have to make a call then, because it is too much. Grunting.
Well, we'll do that some other time.
On-court coaching.
We'll have a look at that some other time.
There's a man that knows the rules.
Adam Mills. More than 20 years the referee at Wimbledon.
Disqualified me. Unbelievable.
50 plus.
Who's the only man in this booth that was defaulted at Wimbledon?
Well, almost inconceivably, it was him and not you.
You got deeped at the
Such
Australian,
an English
though.
reply. Yes, only
At least
once.
I knew the
only
rules.
once. Yeah, I didn't
He
know.
didn't even know the rules. That'll teach you.
Yes, it did. Taught me not to go down to Australia anymore. No, I did go down one more time.
30 love.
To play and then commentate a bit. So they love their tennis, so that's why they're excited to see Hewitt back a bit. And where are the other guys? They have anyone in the top 200-300?
Welcome to our world.
We're not doing all that great in the U.S. at the moment. Del Potro's gone from tight to annoyed to
30, 15.
maybe even miffed at the moment that he hasn't gotten a break, that he's losing this. Hewitt's, the stare down. He's winning the stare down.
Select first serve.
It's not going to help his mood either.
Forty, 50. Light. First serve.
Sue, thank you very much indeed, and welcome to centre court. Humid day out here. Leighton Hewitt saved 4 break points at 2-all. He saved 2 break points at 4-2 to him. He's just scrapping like we always expect him to and enjoying the contest. There's been a lot of yelps. There's been a lot of come-ons. It's a typical Aussie match.
Game, Del Potro.
Del Potro, not surprisingly, at 20, has been a bit
Hewitt
unnerved
leads
by the
5
quality
games
of
to 3.
Hewitt's play, but also
First.
by the circumstances. New big boy around the game. Just came off his semis at the French, where he had the great Roger Federer, 2-1. No grass court matches before this. It's a big moment for him at the 5 seed and moved into Nadal's spot at the top of the draw. That adds a little pressure.
Sure. Hewitt serving for this first set.
50, love.
Come through a couple of really tough service games. He'll be certainly serving for the set. Wants to get off to a good start in this game, make life easy and get it under his belt.
Oh, yes.
Love.
Hewitt's height or lack of certainly helps with that shot. He's so close to the ground.
He's already there. Low centre of gravity, 30 love. What an important backhand that was. 2 points from the set.
He's listed at 5'11". I don't know if he's even that tall, but somewhere in that neighborhood.
14,
He's
love.
played about as good a set as I've seen in many a year. About to take the first set off the number 5 seed.
Light. First serve.
I love to see him diving, even at 40 love up. I mean, that is
40-15.
He's come out with a real game plan that he's going to be aggressive. He tries to hug the baseline.
It's not bad.
It's pretty
about
good.
a 6, isn't it?
I'd give it an 8.
An 8.
There was quite a thump to it. I think that counts as a bonus point. He was definitely airborne there for a
At
while.
40 love, I mean, I like that.
I understand that Del Potro has requested a trainer for a bad knee.
Game.
Set to Hewitt here on centre court. Bit of a turner.
Yeah, there was a slip earlier on in the set when Martin Del Potro just pulled wide on his forehand side, and as he planted his left foot, that was the foot that went, and he's having a little bit of treatment now. But that's his right knee that's being dealt with. I suppose there'll be a diagnosis made, and if it needs, if the situation so requires, then he can take a 3-minute timeout.
I saw Franco Davin, his coach, tell him that, or talk in the press, and made a point of making it known that he wanted Del Potro to next learn how to compete and play on this surface. He hasn't had success here at Wimbledon or the grass. He had a match he could have won against Roger Federer and didn't, and now here he is with his hands full against a feisty former #1 who's got the crowd on his side, playing with a lot of intensity, intelligent match. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. He's frustrated. He's going to go for the Nadal play. I was surprised to see Nadal, which is take that around the knee or patella area.
I don't think this is I'm not sure this is anything to do with that particular incident. That patella tendon, I mean, that's just kind of a wear and tear thing, isn't it? You come over onto the grass after clay and the ball bounces lower, you put pressure on the patella.
It's difficult to say. He's a tall man, so he probably doesn't want to get down low. I was surprised to see Nadal after he said for months his knees were bothering him. He'd tape his knees for, I think, every match I saw him play for a year and a half, couple of years. Then he goes to the French, doesn't tape. So you're like, wait a minute.
Maybe they were better.
Exactly. And then he loses. You think, well, maybe it was I need a break before Queens. Next thing you know, he's out of Wimbledon, and now it's Del Potro, who appears to be in some pain. I think pain of how well Hewitt's playing him.
And I like the way Hewitt finished off that set. Big game, 5-3, 3 aces.
15 love.
He's been unpredictable, which I like, and I love when he's got to keep doing that, using that two-handed backhand up the line, so he can keep Del Potro off balance.
30 love.
Tell you, effort wins you points. It's made
30,
this guy one of the great players of the last 10 years. He just does not give up on points. And Del Potro is stunned to see that ball float inside the line. We've seen him slide like it's a clay court, extend.
30.
This looks like some good flexibility, a lot of life right now in Hewitt's legs. He's moving as well as I've seen him in years.
Good move as well there. When he had the short ball, he hit a solid approach, but he saw Del Potro take one hand off the racket. He knew there was going to be a slice. Came in behind it and knocked off the volley.
40-30. Game, Del Potro. First game.
Just to let you know a little bit about this man, he's the 5th seed here at the championships. He's number 5 in the world. He got as high as number 5 in April and has maintained that form. It was after Wimbledon last year where he lost in the second round. He went on an absolute tear. He won 37 of 45 matches after that. Leading up to the US Open, he'd won 4 tournaments. It took a tremendous effort from Andy Murray to beat him in the quarterfinal, Flushing Meadows. He won a 5th match in a Davis Cup against Russia to take Argentina to the final. They eventually lost to Spain in that final. So he ended the year at number 9 in the world, currently number 5. So it's all gone his way in the last year or so. Federer beat him in the quarterfinal of the Australian Open and the semi-final of the French Open. So he's a star player, even though we haven't seen him much at Wimbledon.
15.
Didn't see him much in the first round either. He beat Clement in about an hour and a half. Clement was a quarter-finalist here last year.
It's a lot of good signs on Hewitt's serve, but he's always got to keep that percentage up. If he starts dropping it and he's only at 52% for the match, if it gets any lower than that, he's going to be in trouble.
40.
He's burned Del Potro with that.
That was like a right-handed version of Connors, wasn't it? It's almost like he's coming inside the ball and
he's hitting over the high part of the net and flat. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Better be careful if you mention that name in this commentary box there, Tim. Mac may just go.
Connors was always my favourite.
Turn him off, will you? Very similar player to a Leighton Hewitt. Their demeanor, their intensity.
50.
Do we have Connors to blame? I mean, he started the grunting, didn't he?
Was he the first guy? He grunts some. My God, gotta blame him. Let's blame him. Yeah.
Yeah, you're happy with that?
Yeah, that's a good start.
Leighton pursuit. Look. So
what does Del Potro need to do now? I mean, he's got to start serving bigger, winning easier points on that serve, which he's certainly capable of doing. And he's got to lift his intensity level. You know, he's a bit tight, not surprisingly, this first set. Hewitt, the veteran, took it to him. He's got to show the crowd he wants to win this as much as Hewitt does. Last 3 majors have been 2 quarters and a semis for Del Potro, so that's pretty impressive.
Oh!
Light. Second serve.
I watched Leighton Hewitt along with Max Mirny win the doubles at the U.S.
40.
Open.
2000.
He's got some prowess, and that was very well handled. That half eye, tough shot, but it's the right game plan, and it's been quite effective so far.
Game. Del Potro.
So it's been nice to see him trying to play effective grass court tennis.
Jason, thank you very much indeed for that. It's things like that you don't notice. These are the adjustments that players have to make when they change surface. It's why going from the clay to the grass so quickly is a challenge. It wouldn't come naturally to Del Potro. Tim Henman.
I was reading in his notes, obviously making the semis in France, he needed to have some rest, went back to Argentina and was practicing on a grass court back home. So they're obviously trying to make an impact on grass court tennis.
I guess there's one near home in southwest of Buenos Aires there. He grew up in a town in the Pampas there. There's only 3 grass courts in Argentina, I guess.
3 more
I didn't
than
know
I
that.
knew.
Yeah, that's 3 more than I expected to hear. They love their tennis down there. Buenos Aires is a great city. No high five, but okay, nice.
It would have had to have been a low 5. And now
He's just changed the height of the net.
he's just changed the height of the net so he can jump it easier. And Norm Christ is going, oh no.
15.
Now he's telling him I moved it, so we're gonna have to fix. But I think he showed a good sense of humor there, and
There we go.
got a few
now
fans
she's
on his
panicking.
side.
Where's that thing that we measure the net? It used to take one racket and then the head of another racket, and that's how you knew how high it was.
That's with wood rackets. Oh, it's okay. All's well that ends well.
She'll get an extra meal ticket for that.
Oh!
15 all.
See that extra 3 millimeters that Del Potro turned onto the net there, just enough to take that forehand off the top of the net and wide.
Thought it was lower. He made. Either way, he made Hewitt wait a while between points.
I thought he did pretty well to get over the net.
That's strong. It was the right move.
Foul!
15, 30.
Meatloaf, you know the singer? He tried to jump the net when I played against him, fell flat on his face. And Pavarotti tried the same move.
Ooh.
That's not as good if you're carrying some extra weight. 0 for 2.
Del Potro skipped over that like it wasn't even there. Error since then from Hewitt on the forehand. Now a double fault. And a sniff of a break of serve for the Argentine.
Snuffed out quickly.
30 all.
He's serving quite superbly in this set. It really is.
123 miles an hour is not the fastest, but you look at where those 2 serves landed. So accurate.
2 games all.
Think about the break points that he had and lost Del Potro 2-all the first set, and then at 4-2 as well. He had 15-30 there, and nothing really is happening for the big man yet. Get the feeling over 5 sets he's going to get his shots. Patience, Franco Davin there on the right hand side with a dark cap, former tour pro, and a very handy one coaching Del Potro.
His balance was poor on that shot. I don't know if it was a knee that he didn't want to put all the weight on, but got himself in trouble there. And he doesn't have a lot of history in the 5-setters. You wouldn't like to see Del Potro get down 2 sets. He looked to fade physically. Maybe it was more of a mental thing when he was up 2-1 with Federer at the French. Maybe he realized what he was about to pull off. 6-1, I think, 3-1.
All.
Right up the throat of the racket from Del Potro at the net.
That's good touch.
You normally say you pay for the whole racket.
Watch where this one. This has got no string on it. Straight off the throat. If that had been a wooden racket, it would have missed completely. Oh no, it was the top of the frame.
Not only is Hewitt striking the ball so well, his movement, getting into position, is first class.
He may be a lightweight, but he's punching above his weight in this match, isn't he? Got the adrenaline flowing, but still Del Potro with a game point here at 40-30.
Game, Del Potro.
No breaks of serve in this second set. First set to Hewitt, 6-3.
3-2, second set. Hewitt won the first set.
Andy Murray coming up later on against Ernest Gulbis from Latvia. Talented player, hasn't had a great year, but that's what's in store for this centre court. In the meantime, we've got a ladies' match following this, and potentially a long match between Hewitt and Del Potro.
Love 15.
You want to get Del Potro on the run. He's not as effective as when he has time to line it up. Hewitt's done an excellent job hugging that baseline, attacking when given the chance. His footwork is phenomenal. Absolutely was some of the best footwork you'll ever see. Does not have the luxury of the angle of a 6'6" Del Potro, so it's a good effort by Leighton. Collect so many aces so far. Only a set and a half in.
10 aces.
So effective when he's aggressive playing up the court, because he knows that he can't let Del Potro dictate these points. He doesn't want to be doing all the running.
Even though that was his second serve, it was into the body, and he didn't get out of the way of it. It's a good play. Hewitt has really come prepared to throw everything he's got at Del Potro, and he's wondering if he can keep this up, but he better start planning for Hewitt to keep playing this well. He's got to have to lift his game.
First serve.
And certainly moving towards the business end of this second set. Del Potro certainly can't afford any slip-ups down a set. As we said, if he goes down 2 sets, it's really going to be up against it.
Well, Del Potro failed to reach the royal box with that bounce smash. It certainly looked like he was attempting to knock one up there. I remember Buster Mottram serving one straight into the royal box some time ago. Must have been a big miss hit.
You sure about that?
Game, Del Potro. Ball change.
May not have been aware, because I was so rudely interrupted. That,
apologies.
I played in Buckingham Palace.
Did you? Of course.
Back with Bjorn Borg in 2000. So, I mean, I thought the only way I'd ever get in there was to scale the fences. But there's still hope for me. You know, I've never sat in the royal box for a match.
You haven't?
No.
I'll put in a good word for you.
Yeah, you're on the committee, so see what you can do.
My wife's in the royal box tomorrow.
Who with?
Her mum.
Uh-huh.
Not me. BBC don't let me out that much.
All right, back to business here. New tennis balls for Leighton Hewitt to serve with. It's 3-4 in the second set, and as Tim Henman was saying, this the business end of the set.
15 love.
So impressive. I mean, Hewitt's certainly not one of the taller guys out there, probably 5'11" in his heels, and he's ahead in the ace count, 12-6. He'll be happy with that.
40 love.
You ever serve 4 aces in a game?
I tried. You know, when you get that 3 in a row, you go
Try
for
every
first,
game.
second serve, you keep going for it. But I don't believe I did ever get 4 in a row, no. We talked about Hewitt's lack of success the last 3 years, the injury problems. I mean, he hasn't been in a quarters since 2006, I believe. Semis even the year before that. But I'll tell you, this is the Lleyton Hewitt that reached the 2 years he finished #1 in the world. This is the best I've seen him play in a long, long time. Not only the movement, but the intensity he's playing with.
And the consistency.
Yeah. Serve this set of serving. I can't remember him serving better. Del Potro prefers a hard court more than Clay. He likes to get on a court where he can stop-start. You know, he's still working on that leg strength. He's a lot fitter and stronger than he was even a year ago, but that was a strong move forward. Cut that ball off.
Luck. Luck. Letters. Game, Del Potro. Del Potro leads 5-4.
He's got a big wingspan. You maybe try to step in a step or two closer off the serve, just sort of block it back. He's allowing Hewitt at times to angle him off the court. And then if he does get a second serve, he needs to be more aggressive with it. Take the point over and get ahead. And then he's pushed Hewitt around the court.
Comfortable on serve in this set so far. Very comfortable for Lleyton Hewitt. Del Potro will be looking to win one of the first couple of points and get off to a start. Launch an attack. If he can break here, it'll be a set all.
15 all.
This is what Del Potro was looking for. A half chance. Miss hit after the net cord from Del Potro. Just catching the bottom of the racket.
One time he really didn't move his feet. Normally so good at adjusting round the ball, getting in the right position, but he was a bit static.
Del Potro had stood still off his return thinking he was going to go in the net. It clipped and that went over, and Hewitt didn't make the adjustment. He needed that there. Free point. He's guiding his return, Del Potro, a little too much to me. Pretty flat returns. If he came over it, he could be more aggressive.
Game, Hewitt. Five games all. Second set.
Great program on centre court. Kirilenko versus Wozniacki is next up. After that, Andy Murray against Ernest Gulbis. You get the feeling this could have a lot of mileage left in it. This second round match on day 4 of the championships. Big man Juan Martín Del Potro, the 5th seed, against a former champion in Leighton Hewitt. 5-all second set.
15 love.
He's starting to thunder down those aces, though. Potro, that's 7 in this set, 8 total. He's starting to find the rhythm.
Pat Rafter once described this man as a mongrel, and in Australia we're led to believe that's a great compliment. We know exactly what he meant. He doesn't let anything go. Tremendously competitive. If there's a half chance, he'll go for it.
First.
Nice hands from Leighton Hewitt there.
Catches win matches.
I think he senses that he wins this set, that this match is going to be his. Unlikely that Potro would come from all the way back.
Ball girl did well. Evasive action.
30 all.
Surprise time to try second serve ace at 121. Tosses the double fault in.
Crowd reaction could put the server off here. 30 all second serve.
Deep ground stroke from Leighton Hewitt. He knows what that means.
30.
Failure to adjust from Juan Martín del Potro on the deep ball.
Crowd made some murmurings, made him think it was going to go long. It wasn't even close to being out. This is Leighton's chance to break here, serve for the second set.
He's got it. Little scrapper from Sydney.
Hewitt leads 6 games to 5. Second set. That
But he's got to hold serve to win the set.
Such a good reaction, isn't it? And you talk about playing the big points well. Del Potro 0 for 6 on break points. Hewitt 2 for 2.
Here he goes.
Yeah, it's classic Leighton Hewitt, no doubt about that. And it has happened so fast on grass. And he's had way more experience with that than Del Potro, who just suddenly, out of nowhere, the game was gone. And he'll rue the second serve ace attempt, a double fault, sort of a lazy forehand. And then all of a sudden you panic. You know, you miss your first serve, crowd, that deep ball, he thought it was going to go out, didn't prepare to hit it. Next thing you know, he's going to be in real big trouble if he loses this game.
Hewitt has not lost a point in this set when he's got his first serve in. But he's gone for his first serve. He can't afford to pull back, and, well, we'll see what develops. He's serving for the second set. This is why Leighton Hewitt is still in the game. A sunny day on centre court during the championships. Big star down the other end.
And so far he's doing the business.
Love 15.
You sit there a whole changeover telling yourself, whatever you do, don't double fault. And then it happens. Infuriating. But that's the nerves.
Only the second double fault of the match for Hewitt, but not a good time.
Love 30.
You can only put that down to tension if you were watching the balls in the rally, where they were landing from Hewitt. They're getting shorter and shorter. He's playing with a little bit more spin and suddenly under some pressure on his serve.
Del Potro's refused to make that adjustment. He's hitting the return flat and it's flying on him. Cannot guide the ball into where you want it to go. You have to commit to your shot.
I think for a guy this man's class, love 30, trying to break back into break serve to get back into the set. You can't make two routine unforced errors like that.
It's been an hour and a half of vintage Leighton Hewitt out here.
40-30.
Taking down the favoured opponent. And can he seal this second set?
That's the type of forehand he needs to do each and every time. He strikes it with authority, but he uses some topspin that dropped into the inside the line. Try that on the return.
First serve.
Slightly late call, but a very firm call from that lady. That'll be a Hawkeye challenge. Norm Christ has instructed that, and what a big one this is. If this ball was on the line, it's set point. If it wasn't, it's advantage Del Potro. It's advantage.
Advantage Del Potro.
Well, just that little bit of aggressiveness helped him win that point. Very well done there.
One set point has gone begging in this set. Del Potro smacked a forehand win across court for that one. Here's a break point, the first of the set for the Argentine.
He's about ready to explode, this guy.
After such a good return of serve the point before, Hewitt 1 for 10 first serves this game. He gets the second serve on break point, shanks it in the bottom of the net.
Pretty big swing he takes there, and not a lot of room for that shot. Missed a couple times this game, miss it well wide. Set point for Leighton.
And I want to hear his reaction if he does win this point.
I think I know what he's going to say.
Predictable, exciting, and Leighton Hewitt is taking down the seed here. 2 sets to love against Juan Martín Del Potro. Bad news for Juan Martín del Potro fans. He's never come back from 2 sets down. And he's especially never done it against somebody like a Leighton Hewitt on centre court in a big match like this. This is really an uphill struggle from now on. I've got Tim Henman here and John McEnroe as well.
Leighton Hewitt's 5-set record, by the way, for his career, very respectable. 28-13. And that will...
that's a lot of miles.
A lot of miles, no doubt about that. But it all looks... But I'll tell you what, he's intimidated, and that's hard to do. A big guy like this, with his excellence, his intensity, his tenacity, his movement, is all led to this lead. That to me, you know, I've watched him so many years. Is such a key to him. His willingness to hit that shot, open the court up. He's done that very well today. That two-handed backhand right back up the line. Takes the ball earlier than Del Potro expects. And he could, if he gets a good... This is where he's going to press.
He could roll this one.
I'll tell you.
Early break.
Look at this. See it? Right, it's right here for him. And believe me, he knows it.
Yeah, whilst everybody else in the centre court crowd sort of settling down after the second set, the competitor knows that this is the time where the prey is vulnerable. Juan Martín del Potro may not want to be out here right now. The change of ends, he was shaking his head. Latin shrug of the shoulders. Love 30.
Remember, no matches coming into this tournament. Needed a rest after a semifinal at the French. 2-1 up against Federer. Has not had success here in the past. He said, this thing's going to slip away rather quickly.
Well, that's him written off then.
Okay.
Oh, there's a first. It looks a very tidy technique up there as well.
15-40.
Solid play to save the first break point. Nice technique on the backhand volley out in front, just nudging it off the court, but still 2 more break points to save.
How about that for an approach shot?
It's beautiful, and he's also got some good hands, Del Potro. I think he'll be well served in the future to move to the net more.
She'll be looking forward to a match later on. Andy Murray in action against Ernest Gulbis. It's Wozniacki and Kirilenko in a ladies singles second round match next. Meantime, a break point still to face for Del Potro. Well saved.
Deuce.
Franco Davine on the right there. Big time clay courter, 30 in the world. Coaching this man, the #1 player in South America.
That's the first one in the match there. That's a rough time. That'll put a doubt in your mind. Fuel the flames of depression. Starting to infiltrate Del Potro's body.
Followed up by falling on his rear. Not a happy day at the office right now.
saved 3 break points in this game already. Here's another.
That's pretty impressive for a guy 6'6".
It's like lobbing the Eiffel Tower, isn't it? But it was clearly going to be the play that he was going to try to attempt.
And you speak to Leighton Hewitt, ask him what his best shot is. Top spin lob. He loves it. I hated it.
It's a big point play, isn't it? Brought his man in, lured him in, got the ball over his head. Another break point.
No. Succumbing to the pressure from this man. Del Potro, every game that he's faced break points in, he's lost his serve. It's been just an ordeal, a trial really for him today. Facing this little man that just will not go away. He certainly won't beat himself. 2 sets and now break of serve to Leighton Hewitt.
It's also an education. He's going to have to learn from this. Maybe even though you go deep in a French Open, Nadal would get over here, try to play a tune-up event, get on the courts, not go back to Argentina. And that seems, I mean, I understand wanting to get back home, but that seems rather a long way to then have to return to England, because that takes its toll.
He was
travel alone.
He was ill for 5 days of that before he practiced on the grass. The grass of Argentina doesn't sound right, but he found grass courts down there.
There's practice. Who is he playing with down there? You presume that most of the guys were here, the best ones at least.
From his same town, Mariano Zabaleta, Juan Monaco. So I don't know, they've got some good players down there.
30 left.
It's difficult now as well when he's down 2 sets to love. He's a breakdown in the third. He's probably asking himself, what can I do differently? Does he have much of a plan B? It's not like he's going to start serving and volleying, is it? I think really he's just got to raise his levels. He's got to improve his game.
The intensity to show he wants it. He let it slip already early in the third. I remember Nadal playing Robert Kendrick, losing the first 2 sets, holding serve to go up 1-love in the third and pumping his fist like, he was the guy that was up. And you don't get that.
Don't sense
feeling.
it with him.
Certainly not now.
Similar shirt, but not quite the same biceps.
That's a good point.
Oh, that was strength to strength, and Leighton Hewitt won it, and he wanted to know. He wanted to let his opponent know. Well, we've gone head-to-head, and I've won that one. He is just in Del Potro's face at this point.
Dog with a bone. Just not going to let go.
Game, Hewitt.
Del Potro thinks it was a let. Norm Christ said no. The
Hewitt leads 2 games.
machine didn't indicate that.
it's a good day for Norm to be wearing a cap, keep the best of the sun off, because there's not a lot of protection on that head for Norm. Boiling hot day here, building up in this centre court. The roof has been closed just a little bit for shading at one end, the roll box end.
Here's a guy making an argument could have won the French. 2 sets of 1 up against Roger in the finals, playing Soderling, who hadn't been there before. Now losing, it appears, will lose early in this event, and he's got those 4 tournament wins in a row coming up. I'd like to see him make a run, though, here. Show what he's made of, why he's gotten to this position. He's got the quality to do it.
Maybe he is going to serve
see that?
I think he'll just keep it to 40 love points at this point. He looks fine coming forward. It looks a sound technique. It's only 20 years of age. Plenty of time.
Game, Del Potro.
So Del Potro hangs in there, but it's Leighton Hewitt with the break of serve.
Hewitt leads.
2 sets to love up, 2 games to 1 up in the third set. Classic Wimbledon scene, isn't it? The first Thursday, the 4th day of the championship. It's a second round singles match. Wozniacki versus Kirilenko next, and later on Andy Murray in action. And that's most people's highlight, surely, today. Yeah, with Jimmy Tarver. Is it one of your golf partners too?
I've taken a little cash off him over the years.
He doesn't have the right to reply.
No, which is perfect, because he'd have something pretty...
He'd cut you down.
He'd have something pretty clever and pretty funny to say, so...
Surprised he doesn't talk you out of it.
He tries.
Well, he'll be enjoying this match like everybody else, apart from Juan Martín del Potro. 2-1 in the third set.
Love, 15. All.
Unlucky.
Well, it started earlier in that point when Del Potro should have done more with that passing shot. It was not a great approach by Hewitt, but he got away with it.
Sorry, Mac.
That should be outlawed. You know, saying you're sorry when you win a point like that.
Another one of your rule changes.
Yeah. The truth is anyone really sorry? Or should they be?
No.
It's just good manners, John.
I see. Okay.
Game, Hewitt. Ball change. Hewitt leads 3 games to 1. Third set.
It's looking good, isn't it, with the roof? Haven't had to see it in action.
Well, you're the only player here who's played with the roof closed. How was it?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a great day for it. I wonder, any prospects at the US Open?
No, that's well, I've been asking them for many years. I hope so, but you know, it's difficult. It's such a big stadium, biggest stadium in the world. Tennis, they could have a tough time doing it there. And then what do you do? Go to the other court? I think they shot themselves in the foot, so to speak. Dug themselves too big a hole. The cost of that, what it would be for that.
I always think you can't really put one on the second show court first, because then you're playing the final. It starts raining. What, you're going to move everyone else over there?
That's right. See, they're stuck. The French are going to, they're talking about building a roof, but on a completely different court. Build a whole new stadium, probably the same size as the center court, so they could do the very thing you mentioned.
Del Potro, if he wasn't a tennis player, would like to be an architect. I'm sure he's had a moment to look up and appreciate the beauty of this stadium. Whoops.
15 all.
Hewitt, as you would expect, using that slice to keep it low on his taller opponent, especially with new balls. He'll skid a little bit. Paid off there with the miss hit. He's come out with the right game plan. He's executed. He's played with more energy than Del Potro. It's just deserved. He's in this position.
$30, 50. Wait, please. $40, 50. Hewitt leads 3 games to 2, third set.
A different player now than back in those days.
He has to be as well, because the game has changed. In that was 2002, I think you said, and 7 years on, players are bigger, stronger, fitter, hit the ball harder. and he's having to try and keep up with that.
He always showed that he could volley. I think he was peaking mentally. His toughness, his belief in himself. Obviously, it wavers with losses and struggles and injuries. And best you've seen him play in many years. But you can't say he's playing better than he was when he won Wimbledon. I don't believe that would be fair. The mental part, as we see so often, so important. He had the edge on players, intimidated them, like he's been able to do today. That's inexperience there with that shot, though. To even attempt what Del Potro tried there.
Could have worn it, couldn't he? With the backhand volley. Hewitt was pretty kind to him.
When you're up 2 sets, a break here, you don't want to get involved in that. Not necessary. It's the right play by Del Potro to try to step it up in terms of the pace of his ground strokes and hit more cross court. Play it a little safer. It's got more, 6 inches more. The net's lower there to deal with.
Oof. 30, 50.
Needed 6 feet more court to aim into there.
Yeah, his footwork has been poor at times, and that's just that's one thing clearly at that height you need to work on. But that's he's done that way too often today.
Crucial moments again for Leighton Hewitt.
At some stage, Del Potro, if he's going to get back into this match, he's got to take advantage of a 30-all point, a 15-30 point on Hewitt's serve, because he's made no inroads.
Slapped a forehand return way out on this side last time.
You better do it soon. Right about now, I'd say, would be the time. Boy, he's just got so tight with that ball, just nothing on it. Allowed Hewitt to take over, move in. It's been a frustrating day for this 20-year-old.
Third set.
You sort of sense Hewitt just ticking off the games. He's got the break. Keep holding his serve. 3 down, 2 to go.
And he'll view this as a game with nothing really to lose. Just get stuck into it, and whatever comes, comes. I mean, if he gets the break here, it's all over.
Why not? Take the double break if you can get it.
30 left.
If you told me at this point that he'd be out acing Del Potro, would have challenged that call.
Well, that statistic says a lot about the way Hewitt returns and reads the return, doesn't it? He gets his racket on a lot of balls that others may not. Oof.
Lost the first day and didn't play the final day.
He got injured.
Is that what he said?
Well, it got maybe a bit much in a lot of tennis, and there was a little bit of unrest in the Argentine camp. Let's see. Let's see if he can step it up, make a charge here. Show why there's been so many people talking about this guy at 5 in the world. It started with that perfect body serve. Open things up for Hewitt.
15.
That's a serve. It's very effective against tall guys who like extend.
It's almost like this is one last roll of the dice. He's going to step up. He's going to go down swinging away. A couple of big hits.
He's found something on that forehand. I watched him play matches where he didn't hit that two-hander up the line. Literally matches. Go cross court every time. I think he's 10 for 10. I mean, it's amazing how well he's hitting it. Such a key for second round effort for Lleyton Hewitt.
First serve.
Especially against a guy of Del Potro's build as well. He's swung him out wide. Del Potro coming back to the middle of the court, and he just takes that one down the line, back behind him.
Sir Hewitt is challenging the call.
Can you challenge after you miss the ball?
Ball was called in.
I think you can, but we talk about this every year.
Yeah.
Why, when the ball hits the line, and I think this did,
yes,
why does it stop? It checks, it
that's
doesn't
a great
go through.
question.
Right, look at that, flush on the line.
Same Clay, it does that. You'd think that after all the technology that they'd figure out a way that would bounce the same way. But clearly affected Hewitt there.
Wait, please. Pick up the ball, please.
It's a crucial point, this, isn't it? Lleyton Hewitt, he's fended off Del Potro so many times. 30 all again.
Loves that one out wide.
Was a phenomenal passing shot.
Well, there's nothing more that one Martin Del Potro can do. I mean, when 6'6" and full of muscle dives at the net,
That is commitment. It was kind of after, it was sort of after the play, wasn't it? But that's what it means to Leighton Hewitt. Cool, he would have been down a break point if he hadn't made that. Here's the big lad.
We've got to give him 9 for this one.
Oh, we're in the heart of the third set now. This is the crucial exchange, perhaps. Hewitt gets through this game. Right on the verge of his place in the third round. Del Potro fancies the break big time.
Advantage Hewitt.
You talked about him getting that rhythm going cross court, and he was making some progress, and then suddenly tries to rip one up the line over the high part of the net.
Yeah, you got to give yourself a little bit more of a margin. You know you're going to be that tiny bit tight. Try to pull that off. You got to hand it to both guys. I mean, Del Potro's trying to step it up. Hewitt's level hasn't dropped.
Deuce.
He did have a reverse forehand. He chose the reverse forehand to play, didn't he, Hewitt?
Went inside out. Kind of had a big gap if he had hooked it sort of back down the line.
Still credit to the Argentine for hanging in there. Another game point fought off. Can he get himself a break point?
Advantage Hewitt.
Off the hook there was Leighton Hewitt by that wild return from Juan Martín Del Potro. Nothing gets to Tony Roach, that's for sure. He's just nonplussed. Been around, seen it all.
Thank you.
No.
Hewitt.
Too much know-how from Hewitt so far. Their hero just one
Hewitt
game away
leads
now.
5 games to 3. Third set.
And this would be a famous victory. He's had bigger victories than this in his career, goodness knows. But this would be important for him. He wants to be involved at the business end of Grand Slams. He's got the 5th seed down the other end. And so far, he's keeping his nose in front. 2 sets and 5-3.
Club.
used that slice so well. Keep the ball where Del Potro doesn't like it. Enticed him to overhit. There's another example. You catch it a little late, it's going to go, and you're trying to hit up the line. Missed it well wide.
Certainly at this stage of the match, Del Potro's just got to make Hewitt serve for the match. Everybody knows it's the toughest game to win. He doesn't want to drop serve.
Yeah, his first serve percentage has dipped quite a bit. He's set down below 50%, so got to at least do that. Del Potro hits that hard, flat ball. It was where it pays for Leighton to be 5'10", 5'11". It's really handled the ground strokes of Del Potro so well.
He's not a player to back off, is he, Del Potro? He keeps on hitting, keeping the commitment going. Sees his chances of breaking in the next game.
Game, Del Potro. Hewitt leads 5 games to 4, third set. By 2 sets to love.
Just that opening Del Potro service game, wasn't it? Just a little lack of intensity at the start of this set. Hewitt seized upon it, using the momentum that he'd gained from winning the second set, and that is the only difference between these two. Del Potro has had plenty of chances. Hardest game to win coming up for Leighton Hewitt.
Kind of reminds me, similar situation 12 months ago when Gasquet played Murray. Gasquet dominated the match, 2 sets to love up, 5-4. Don't think he had dropped his serve. Came out to serve for the match, and it was the one moment that he kind of blinked. Murray broke 1 in 5.
Well, no shortage of support.
Feeling if the admiration on this centre court could will Leighton Hewitt across the winning line, they certainly would, but he's going to have to earn it.
4 points away from a place in the third round.
First time these two have ever played, and it's the veteran Hewitt who is really from the start showing why he is a former Wimbledon champion.
Veteran at 28, that'll be Federer next year.
Right, Roger will be 28 in August. Father, soon.
Oh!
It was on Hewitt's racket,
15
and I think it probably would have dipped in.
Well, there was a split second where he thought it may go out. He started to pull his racket away and then realized he tried to hit it. A lot of pace on that ball from Del Potro.
He had a quick look back, didn't he? Big difference between 15 all and 30 love.
One of those days.
30,
That's the
15.
vibe he's giving off.
He's had nothing off the net cord so far, has he?
Light. Pursue. Mr. Hewitt is challenging the call on the right near sideline. Ball was called in.
More hope than expectation, I think, here.
The ball was first struck. I think Hewitt thought it was out. Just barely clipped the line. Keep Del Potro's hopes alive
Mr.
here.
Hewitt has one challenge remaining.
That's too long. And here's the chance that Del Potro has been working towards. A chance to get
14,
back
14.
into this match.
0 for 7. This is 8th time yet to get the break. Wow.
Reward for endeavour, really. Del Potro could have thrown the towel in earlier on in this set, but he didn't. He could have gone down 2 breaks, but he didn't. And that perhaps is why he's the 5th seed here. We still have a match on centre court. A reminder that Andy Murray against Ernest Gulbis is the 3rd match on the order of play on centre court today. After this, Caroline Wozniacki and Kirilenko of Russia. Ladies singles 2nd round match, but plenty of distance left in this one.
Ball just drops on the line. He's shown a lot of character, Del Potro.
Love, 15.
He's got a respect for the game and its history, and he's hung around. That's why he's still playing right now. We've seen this often from Hewitt, though. A guy just is able to shrug off something bad, just back to the task. Great returner.
124 mile an hour second serve, but just not quite in the right place.
Never an easy man to serve to, is he?
15-30.
Oh.
All that work to get back into the match, break back, get back on level terms at 5-all, and now immediately under pressure again.
He's just going to try to blast his way out of trouble now.
30-14.
Even Runchy's smiling there. He knows what he's got on his hand.
It's a special man that can shrug off getting broken when you're serving for it. Have that volley pretty easy. Well, I don't want to say easy, but makeable.
Where Leighton Hewitt is a break-up and one game away from a place in the third round.
You talked about his favorite play being the topspin lob, which is what he started that 5-all game with, followed by a huge second serve. Del Potro went for it, hit the winner, looks up. Next thing you know, anytime they got in any sort of rally, it was Hewitt who was able to do the damage.
I think the only time he has struggled in his service games, Leighton Hewitt, has only dropped serve once, obviously, when he was serving for the match, is just when that first serve percentage, goes down a little bit, and he'll be keen to get a high percentage in here and get off to a good start, close this match out, get back to the locker room, get ready for the next round.
Easier said than done. Typically antsy, working up the nerve here. Get through this. Really appreciate those type of misses when you're trying to serve out the match.
Oh, big down the line from Del Potro, and that has to count as a mistake. It was a mid-court ball.
And when you're hitting it that hard, that doesn't need to hit the line. That can be 2 feet inside the line and it still won't come back.
Hewitt just soaking up the pressure and allowing his opponent to make the mistake. 2 points away now.
Speed kills. This court coverage, awesome.
He's asked so many awkward questions of Del Potro. And the 5th seed faces 2 match points here.
Boom!
Still no first serves in this game.
Yeah.
And that second serve wasn't too close either.
And yet he's still a 40-30. So.
Go for the slow kicker out wide here.
Yeah, just underhand.
And that's what it needs to Leighton Hewitt to win on centre court. He's cut the big man down to size. And we'll see much more of Juan Martín Del Potro. Not this tournament. This is all about the return of an old friend, isn't it? A former champion using this stage.
And I
well
think
played.